Big projects can get the better of you, but here's how you can always win. Hey guys, welcome to Magic Behind the Magic. I'm Steve Wickenton. Hey, have you ever had a big project that was just so big it never seemed to end? Or worse still, it was so big that you just lost interest and never even finished it? Well, I've done it many times, and just the other day I realized why some work and some don't work, why I finish some projects and why some projects just go on and eventually get lost. You see, right now I'm in the middle of a really big project. I mean a really big project. It has been going for 2 years so far, and now I'm about to finish it in 2 months. 2 months? 2 years? That's not the middle of the project. Well, it is, because the amount of work I still need to put in to finish it in the next 2 months is pretty much equal to the amount of work I've put in over the last 2 years. When I think about it, I've actually been in the middle of this project for about 6 to 8 months already. I just hadn't got around to deciding that I was going to finish it. Basically, up until now, I'd been dabbling in it a little bit here, a little bit there, working on something there, getting distracted by this, getting distracted by that, but just sort of playing with it over and over and over. Then, just the other week, I realized what I was actually doing. You see, I was procrastinating. I was on the road to nowhere. And if you're on the road to nowhere, you're never going to get there. I knew what I wanted to finish, and I knew what it had to look like, but I didn't have any plans on how to actually get there or any time frame to fit it all into. So I created a timeline. So the first thing I decided to do was to set an end date. That's the date that this project had to be finished by. Now this wasn't much of a brainer really, because I actually wanted to get this finished for a certain reason, and it had to be about halfway through this year. So now I was on the road to somewhere, but I still didn't have the map that showed me how I was going to get there. I knew where I was going and when I had to be there by, but now I just had to decide which way I was going to go. Creating a timeline is very much like setting a goal or just simple planning. You need to know where you're going to go, when you're going to get there, and all the little steps you're going to take along the way. Let's say you wanted to travel from A to D, okay? And let's say you had 3 months to do that in. Now you could just say, I'm going to go from there and I'm going to get there in 3 months. Or you can break it down. By breaking it down, it makes it a lot easier for you. So you say from A to B is going to take me 1 month, from B to C is going to take me another month, and from C to D is the last month. That is a 3-month journey all the way through. It may not work out quite like that. Maybe the first month or the first part of the journey, A to B, is going to be a little bit more difficult, so it might take a month and a half. Whatever it is, you work it out and you make sure it fits into your timeline. But you need to keep it, the whole thing, realistic. There is just no point in making a timeline that isn't realistic. If you can't do it in that time frame, then you're not going to do it in that time frame. So don't set yourself up for failure. Creating the timeline really lets you focus on what's most important for each section. It stops a lot of the procrastination, and more importantly, it just keeps you focused on where you need to be focused. You don't need to think about the last part of the journey until you get there. Now, don't spend a lot of time working on these timelines, okay? That really goes against what they're for. A timeline is to stop procrastination. If you spend 2 weeks planning out a project that's going to take a month, that is a definite sign of procrastination. It's a big no. You need to quickly rough out the main parts of the whole project, and then you can go back and add in all the small detail as you go along. Quite often the small things are the things that you get most hung up on, but really they don't take that much time. So the timeline process can be added to any project. It can even be added to those projects that you haven't started yet. The ones you haven't started because they were just too big and overwhelming. Have a go, lay it onto them and see how it works out. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and if you like, hit like. Keep going forward, and until next time, keep building and keep growing. Don't forget, guys, down there, that's where you subscribe to the newsletter and also get your 7-point checklist. Over there, that's a video. Maybe it's a video you haven't seen yet. And that one there, if you haven't subscribed, hit there and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more videos. I'll catch you guys soon, but make sure you hit one of those things.